Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's yours truly CLJ coming live outside my office, and this video is going to be the retrospective review on Mortal Kombat Annihilation from 1997. Where shall we begin with this one? Let's see here. Let's see. I will give that movie at least a 1 out of 10. That movie was just, like it said on the tagline, destroy expectations. It sure enough destroyed all expectations and more. I mean, that movie was just, And for them to have like a $30 to $40 million budget, and what did they spend all that money on? On the actors? I'd probably say most of them were probably like C-list at best. No offense to any of them. They were like C-list at best. Where did that $40 million, things like $30-40 million budget? Literally. It's unbelievable how much they put in that movie. But then when it came out, it looked like something that I can do within 10 minutes. Oh boy. Well, yeah, I don't know where that budget went. And then the director was, to think that if Mortal Kombat 95 was chopping over the place, this Annihilation makes Mortal Kombat look like The Godfather 1 and 2. Really. It's severely poorly edited, severely poorly paced, this poor acting is. Wow. And then the costumes are, you have some good costumes like Sindel's. But then she was just there to be Kitana's mother, which her dialogue was beyond laughable. The movie is so bad, it's laughable. If you're having a bad day, watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation and try not to laugh at least once. And then the character pacing is awful. It's awful too. Nightwolf with his 3 tests, but only 2 is even mentioned. Shinnok being Raiden and being the dad of what's his name, of Shao Kahn, who that was a nice actor. What's his name? Do forgive me for not knowing their names. And Brian Thompson, he did a good job, he did a great job as Shao Kahn. And then you have Raiden, who's supposed to be his brother. Written by John Tobias, ladies and gentlemen. Check the credits. That's who we got to thank for this abysmal failure. I don't know which one is worse, this or Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World. Both of them seem to be, in bed together, with their inconsistencies and their errors, and the editing is just all over the place. And let's go back on track here. And the fight scenes were okay, special shout out to Davey from the 80s Cinema Chop. He noticed, he spotted that there was a lot more fight scenes in this one. That's very true. This one had a lot more fight scenes. It was just, a little bit of dialogue, terrible executed, poorly written dialogue, fight scene, repeat. It's like a Final Fantasy game with this movie. Fight, talk a little bit, fight, poor pace, fight, you get it. And the green screens were so unbelievably noticeable. When Sonya and Johnny and Jax leaves, and why they killed Johnny Cage like 2 minutes of the film. And then another negative. A movie is bad when 90% of the cast is recast. Literally the only three actors are Robin Shaw, Talisa Soto, and Keith Cook. That's it. Everybody else is recast. Now, to be fair, the plus goes to Sandra Hess for being a much, much better Sonya Blade. So she gets spared. Saved. But the rest of it, no. Into the fire. Into the pits of hell. Yeah, and Yeah, back to the, let's see, the Night Wolf. That was terrible. It had so many characters, way too many characters in it. And they all had literally less than 2 seconds and they were gone forever. And how did Scorpion come back from the dead, too? I mean, how did Scorpion come back? And how would Sub-Zero brother even know where Liu Kang would be? And just, stuff all over the place. Yeah, it's kind of like the worst. It's kind of like putting all your eggs in a basket and then somebody just smashes the basket and then you're just left with yolk all over the place. That's what Mortal Annihilation is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, and the animality. Oh boy, I mean, it just gets better and better, doesn't it? And then with the elders, the elementals, I thought that was cool, but now I think about it, that was so cheap. That was so cheap. I mean, they have $30 to $40 million budget here. This is 97. Now, this is back 97. That was about, let's see, 26 years ago. I mean, and, let's do a little inflation here. They had $40 million budget in 97. That's for almost what, 50 in this time. I mean, and the costume, Baraka. Let's not get started on Baraka. His mask looked like it came from. It looked like that. It came from a Toys R Us department. It was so, the mask, his head couldn't even stay on. It was so big. I kid you not. Just look at it. And then with the Rain, why they kill Rain off? Again, so many characters. They just don't. Again, there's too many eggs in the basket, and somebody just smash the basket, and then they have to make something with the basket as they destroy the whole thing. And Jax was okay, Lynn Red Williams, and he did it. He did a good job. He was like, he was the comic relief. Raiden was just okay, Then when Ray Park versus the Reptiles. Another special shout out to Davey from the 80s when he said they was just doing a lot of, it wasn't connecting blows and all of that. It was just, pre-crouching tiger hidden dragon dance. They was just, spin, 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 flip, flip, flip. And yeah, I think the only person that did the most hits was Sonya Blade. Liu Kang barely fought in this one. I think the most force had the most fights was Sonya Blade in this one. I don't know. And then with the, let's see, what else? Yeah, too bad you will die. Yeah, and oh no, we already talked about the 3 tests. What's another one that was just really inconsistent? And I think that's about it. And then the grand finale of the fights, and I liked it. I liked how they pulled it off. But again, it was just, the Jax versus Motaro, that was dope. That was, that was a good fight. That really was. And then with the new Cybot, uncredited, and then with Ermac, and I don't know. And again, Sonya Blade, she looked amazing in it. She really did, and she, just perfect. Perfect. And yeah, that's about. Let's see, what else can I think of? And the movie had a lot of background still shots, so you can definitely tell that the movie was made in a studio. All that. Yeah, again, $30 to $40 million budget, and wow. And the writing was terrible, pacing was terrible, the acting was terrible, and the fights were, dance choreography at best. And that's about it. Dialogue was laughable, but it's a nice laugh. It really is. It really is a nice laugh, and CGI was, animality, and Again, this movie and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom deserve each other. They really are a match made in hell. Because, wow, it is how you go from being on a mountaintop to literally landing face first into the valley within 2 years. And that's about it on my take on Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And again, it was just a mess. You know, it was just terrible. But it's a nice laugh, you know, because I was 13 at the time. And even I said, and then, you know, thinking about it, wow, man, this is something that seemed off about this movie. But yeah, leading up what the ended here, and special shout out to Delboy Movie Mash and Davey from the 80s, you know, Cinema Chop Shop. Thank you for the motivation and inspiration to make these videos of Mortal Kombat. And until next time, yours truly, peace, love, and happiness. Take it easy, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Be safe and be responsible out there. And remember, Toasty!